We continue with Napoli Cruiser. I'm Lord Jim. Hi to all. We prepared this content with Alister. Let's start with the history. In the mid-1930s, Italian company Ansaldo worked on a project for a heavy cruiser that was intended for the U.S.S.R. In the first half of the 20th century, it was common practice for Italian shipbuilding companies to offer their projects to interested countries, and right before World War II, the U.S.S.R. started building their great fleet. The Italian shipbuilders offered a project for a battlecruiser. However, it would never actually be constructed. Nevertheless, the blueprints that were brought from Italy to the U.S.S.R. turned out to be influential. The battleships of Project 23 drew plenty of inspiration from the Italian design. The Napoli is based on a preliminary design for the Soviet Project Heavy Cruiser, but was never actually built. There were a total of 2 heavy cruiser plans proposed by Ansaldo. In the end, the design was abandoned. The historical design was called for a ship with 9 250mm guns and 3 triple turrets with 2 superfiring at the front and 1 at the rear. The secondary battery would consist of 12 130mm guns and 6 twin turrets, and 12 100mm guns and 6 twin turrets as well. The design was also armed with 2 triple torpedo launchers located at the rear of the ship. Tier 10 Napoli is an Italian heavy cruiser in the Blitz game. While she shares some similarities with her tech tree counterpart Venezia, including good agility and speed plus access to the exhaust smoke generator, she also has some unique features. Most notably, she loads HE shells rather than semi-armor piercing SAP main battery shells. Napoli's most unusual feature is her secondaries. Rather than firing HE like all other secondary batteries, Napoli's fire SAP shells. As with other SAP shells, they are less effective against sharply angled targets, but have increased penetration and damage compared to same caliber HE shells. Additionally, Napoli's secondary guns have substantially improved accuracy. When fully upgraded, they can reach out to higher range, leaving only a kilometer between her detection and secondary ranges. Napoli is also armed with a pair of quadruple torpedo launchers, 1 on each side, with comfortable firing angles. She has an extra torpedo per launcher compared to Venezia and a longer reload, but otherwise their torpedoes are identical. Napoli is a Tier 10 Italian premium heavy cruiser that stands out because of its powerful secondary armament in comparison to other cruisers, both manual 7.76 km secondaries and auto 7.05 km secondaries base. The main guns are not outstanding but perform well and have high shell velocity and base range. Since it is a close-quarters combat ship, it boasts great speed 34.18 knots alongside 3 charges of fuel smoke level 2 to get close fast and use the fuel smoke whenever necessary. It also comes equipped with 3 charges of secondary gun boost level 2 that increases range and reload of both auto and manual secondaries. This helps improve gun performance and DPM in brawls while staying mobile, swiftly combining the fuel smoke and speed. When it comes to builds, since it's a secondaries-focused ship, you can go with either secondary range mod or main dispersion depending on how you play the ship. For the second slot, acceleration is the better choice for improved agility. And for the third slot, you can choose either concealment or speed, which will also come down to personal preference. Napoli is a great cruiser in the correct hands. It is a skill cannon. that requires nearly perfect positioning and timing to get right. You have the highest potential gun DPM of any cruiser at Tier 10 besides Austin with all your gun calibers firing. However, due to you firing SAP, you tend to run into the same issues as Giuseppe Verdi, where you lack the penetration to maximize that potential DPM without the perfect positioning to hit the correct weak spots on enemy ships. In this gameplay, Alister tries to play around islands to minimize the number of targets that can attack him at once while he is brawling, and when islands are unavailable, as wide as effectively sneak up on targets to brawl, and then go dark once my secondary overload and fuel smoke go cool down. That's the detailed strategy to how to manage Napoli. Napoli has a lot of HP and very low detection, so against low DPM cruisers and battleships, you can ordinarily outtrade them in damage by sneaking up on them with your skills and kiting away to attack again once they recharge. Napoli lacks anti-aircraft. However, so try to attack from stealth after the CV has committed to another ally, so it's less likely to attack you during your attacks on surface ships. Napoli will struggle in sniping battles, which is typically why going wide helps, so you can mitigate the amount of targets that may be able to fire on you. But more importantly, to mitigate the amount of targets looking in your direction when you begin your attack. Here is the whole gameplay now. When starting a match, Alister tries to remain undetected for as long as possible and then sneak in behind an allied DD to use his secondaries on the first ship they spot before the BBs can get in a good position to counterattack. From there, he will go after cruisers and then battleships unless a battleship starts hard pushing, in which case he will start kiting and kill it first. I'm leaving you with the whole gameplay. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to support this content prepared with the help of TDRF YouTube team. For more, you can find us on TDRF Discord server. If you like Napoli, also waiting you to the comments section below. See you next time.
Into the fires of battle!